Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And as the days tick down to the start of the CDL season with the opening weekend less than a week away, frustrations are starting to mount about where exactly League play is here in this current Call of Duty title. Scump very frustrated on the situation, wondering why he can't play League play, because Pro 8s just don't cut it right now. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, would really appreciate it. And let's dive straight in. So firstly, just kind of Crone confirming what we looked at yesterday, that the Glide Bomb is now going to be a one-hit kill if you've got Flak Jacket on regardless. So yeah, thankfully that's now fixed as an issue. Still, the 5 to 7 kill thing I think is still a problem right now. There's still some things that Cellium need to do. And in fairness, since we got that community update several weeks ago, some things have changed. There has been some positives that the league has taken, but the state of the game itself is kind of lagging behind. As well, you might expect, right? Because at the end of the day, I guess the CDL can only do so much if the developers do not necessarily want to comply. But well, interesting stuff. Just wanted to mention this also from Clayster, because we know he's currently under the weather after picking up the virus at the kickoff, was pretty frustrated about it. And Insight says, welcome to the club. This is kind of interesting to me just because the Toronto guys, the way things are right now in Canada, it makes things really challenging for them, especially coming to these events in the US, because if they come to Texas, pick it up, I don't know if they're able to get back in the country. They're probably not, frankly. They'll probably have to stay in Texas for a bit. They wouldn't be able to practice. Would be a bit of a disaster. So I don't know exactly what's happened here. Maybe Insight and Co did pick it up and they maybe tested positive just when they actually got back to Canada before they were, rather than before they got on the plane and stuff like this. So yeah, really difficult for a lot of these guys, right, trying to move around, especially between countries. It's not so bad for the players that actually live in Texas. They can just drive to the venue. I'm pretty sure for some people, the venue's like a 20-minute drive away from their house. The Toronto guys, certainly a different story. There's a lot of people living in different parts of the states as well. That might be a difficulty. Maybe things will open up in Canada as well relatively soon. But yeah, just tough for these guys. They've got to be super careful at these events, right? Which is probably one of the reasons why Clayster is saying, look, some of the restrictions and the precautions that were in place at the kickoff, maybe the CDL could do a better job on that going forwards. Another thing the CDL, of course, well, you'd think could do a better job on would be getting league play out, but maybe they don't really have all that much power. We saw this, of course, on the 11th of January when the community update comes through, and there was some talk here about the status of ranked play, where it's going to be, when it's going to be arriving, how far is it going to be around the corner, because I'm pretty sure last year, it was at the end of February sometime, ranked play dropped into the game. This year, of course, we're hoping it would be earlier. Every year, it seems, we have expectations and hopes that the Call of Duty League is going to get pulled back by some degree. It's going to get brought to, December sometime for a kickoff event. Didn't happen this year. Is league play ever going to come at launch? Is it not what the CDL wants, right? Or is it not what Activision and the developers want? Because according to Hex, he reckons they release it deliberately late to kind of have a second uptick. Does that actually work in reality, though? I don't know. Why not just give the players the best possible product? I don't really understand it. But still, he reckons here, Daniel, they're like, okay, they're working on it. It's something that's coming relatively soon. There'll be an update in a few weeks. And they mentioned in an article recently as well that, yes, it's going to be coming in February sometime. Now, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure with the Season 2 delay to February the 14th, that's when it's going to get delayed to at the very earliest. So, well, who knows whether it actually arrives on February the 14th with the drop of Season 2, if Season 2 doesn't get delayed again, or if it's going to get pushed back further than that and it's actually going to come in the middle of Season 2 somehow, kind of like it did last year. I'm pretty sure last year when Season 2 dropped into Cold War, there was a graphic that said League play is coming this season sometime, but not at the start of the year. But last year, of course, it was worked on by Treyarch. This year, it's also getting worked on by Treyarch again, we believe. But of course, Cellium will make the main game, but Treyarch are working on this. This is what they said in that particular article, right? It's going to come in February. So they reckon it's going to be February, which of course is, well, coming up in just a couple of days here. But, probably not until the middle of the month at the earliest. It does make you think about kind of the player skins and the camos and stuff like that were in the game last year that came right at the CDL's launch. Hasn't really happened as of yet either. So lots of frustrations really about the delays here, just because, as Scump said last year, this of course is a tweet that has been discussed endlessly ever since, right? How does Call of Duty not get released for the ranked playlist every year? I'm just genuinely confused. It should be a staple, but it gets ignored. Interesting to think about. Now, of course, at Vonderhaar, this is the classic thing, right? I'm really looking thankful for the hard-working men and women trying to give us a ranked playlist, and then it goes on to say, my crew will deliver, we are on your side, be good to us, right? And then, of course, when the ranked play does eventually arrive 3 or so months later, it doesn't exactly live up to the expectations that a lot of pros are hoping it would. This year, they might change the tune on that, because I'm pretty sure that Von said, when this whole thing was going on, that he didn't even realize that people don't really want the Black Ops 4 Cold War-esque system, where you have a rank name, but the number doesn't really equate for much because you're in a league with 50 other people. What you really want is a World War II type system when you have an ELO number alongside. Now, I think they realize that now. Hopefully, they deliver that one this year, because Scump is certainly thinking, okay, what do I even play on stream, right, when I'm not scrimming? Of course, because they scrim off stream right nowadays. Maybe you watch some matches back, really wants to play league play. Doesn't really want to play Pro 8s, though, because some players certainly are down to play 8s. Some people think it's better practice than not playing the game at all, but others actually think it's very much counterintuitive. Simp is one of those people. There was a big discussion last year about the fact that the FaZe guys don't tend to play 8s, which is effectively when just just 8 pros get in a lobby, 2 pros get picked as captains, they pick their rosters, you just play, you know, you used to put money on the line, not sure they allow them to do that nowadays, but it's still just a fun time to get some extra practice in, I guess, on some of these maps. But generally, the players don't play how they win in scrims, right? So it's not as good a practice, but well, it's still generally good to watch, but the players actually think sometimes it makes them get worse. As Scump is going to go on to describe here, he reckons it actually fries his brain and makes him worse at Call of Duty. So for a good reason, he avoids 8.
Train I'm probably not going to be playing as much Warzone. I'm waiting for League Play to drop. I hope that League Play drops. I don't know. Until then, I mean, I'm down to play pubs, you know, watch the matches back, do some other just various things. But League Play is like, League Play is the best thing to play, obviously. Like, 8s with Shotzzy. Dude, I don't think I'm going to play 8s ever again. Not ever again on this game. I played 8s one time last week, one time. And I felt like it literally erased everything that I've not erased it, but it messed up all of my timings in script. I'm telling you, it hurt me more than it helped. It hurt me a lot. I can't even tell you. People in 8s, bro, they just run around. They do whatever the they want. And like, whenever things are more structured, like, yeah, you'll be like, it gets you like reps shooting against pros and like, but like, it messed me up personally. I did not like it. I didn't like it at all. Dude, people literally they just don't play the same in 8s. And you expect structure, you expect people to be playing, you know, like similar to how they would in scrims, but it's not like that at all. It's actually the complete opposite. People just do whatever the hell they want on the map. And when you go into League Play, you're going in and you're kind of expecting there to be no structure. You're going in with the thought that people are not going to be playing the game correctly because you're not playing against a lobby full of pros.
Players definitely have different opinions on this one though, because as Parasite says back in 2021 now, like in the middle of June, helps with taking gunfights, micro positioning, spawn reading, split spawn reading, etc, and comms if you want to work on them. So, you know, people play 8s just for fun, but Parasite's saying yes, there are some benefits to it, but as Simp says, 8s gives you bad tendencies, right? And it seems like different players kind of agree with this more or less, right? Because, well, Shotzzy seems to be playing them a fair bit. Obviously, putting the time into the game, more time in the game theoretically could be better, but Scump reckons that actually could be detrimental, because if people are just, you know, doing random stuff on the map, you're not building that kind of memory as to like, okay, in a real game, that guy probably wouldn't do that, right? So maybe you're actually putting yourself at a disadvantage in terms of you're building connections. Well, okay, if in a real game, in an actual scrim set in a match day, like when this happens on the map, when you get 3 dead in this situation, often some guy will push this route, whereas, you know, for whatever reason in these games, people just do random stuff because I guess it doesn't matter all that much, and it's being played more for fun. So I understand, I guess, why Scump is steering clear right now, but yeah, he's frustrated the fact that there's still no ranked play, right, for actually these guys to play right now, because there used to be such a good time back in World War II, for instance, when all the players would just hop on, like European and North American side, to League Play, or Ranked Play as it was called in there, but League Play kind of the same type of deal, and then effectively be playing 8s, but it was actually in Ranked Play, so if anything, there was more incentive to try and win, just because then, well, there was points on the line, right? People wanted to be at the top of the ladder, so it was effectively just like they were playing 8s, but they were doing it in Ranked Play, because the elo system was so good that it would pretty much just match you up against like top pros and amateurs pretty much in the top of these ladders, which was really good. And then of course winning that, getting to the top of the ladder, like aBeZy had like 2 accounts at the top of the ladder, right? So there was a good incentive to win. So like that might even be better to play if the elo system's good than it is currently, right? But of course last year in Cold War, the way the ranked play worked, if you're a pro player, you'd just get matched up against like any old lads from Masters, I guess, who weren't necessarily that good because of the way the system worked. So yeah, definitely some frustrations on that front. This also from Lionman, just wanted to point out, he's been putting some cards out the last couple of days for the kickoff. Of course, yeah, these aren't going to be perfect in terms of like the ratings and stuff, because at the end of the day, these guys only play one series, this particular team in the Boston Breach. Of course, well, some of the teams play more series. We'll actually look at the Boston Breach one first, I guess. Here we go. So they came top 12 at the tourney. Plenty of time, of course, to turn things around. But yeah, TJ Nero, Capsidol, and Methods. Pretty impressive, actually. The one that was in the purple here, and of all the stats that was in the purple, is Capsidol here at a damage per 10 minutes, 3,500. Interesting to think about, because last year, like the damage per 10 minute stat was kind of inflated because it was 150 health, I'm pretty sure players had, right? Whereas this year, it's actually only back to 100 again. So that's kind of why the numbers look somewhat lower than last year. But in reality, these actually were, it's actually pretty impressive stats, right? Compared to, you know, Nero's here at 3,000, right? That's kind of middle of the road. Capsule's all the way up here at 3.5. So definitely impressive how aggressive this guy is on the map. Look at Los Angeles, Guerrillas as well, another one of the top 12 teams. Like a really not great performance from these guys across the board. It was obviously a difficult time for Asim in the Search and Destroy, right? He dropped a donut in that one map. Don't think I actually mentioned that in the recap video, but yeah, he dropped the donut. It wasn't pretty. 0-1 in First Bloods. Only one Search and Destroy map played, of course. Doesn't really mean all that much, all things considered. And then another top 12 team, of course, was the Paris Legion. They fell short. Another purple sat in control over Decimate. Deaths per 10 minutes. He's leading the line at 15.6, so I guess it's pretty good, right? So he's staying alive. He's not throwing away his life. And well, that's why I guess Temp said that Decimate's going to be the MVP of this season. I suppose we shall see about that one. And yeah, just to finish out with this, I guess Twitter added this feature where you can put like a content warning on stuff. Proceed with caution if you're an avid Poutine consumer. And well, here you go. 4-0 up. It didn't end particularly well for Toronto at Major 5, but very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed the video, if you did enjoy it, hit the like button, tell us the YouTube gods, this is a good video, and I was like you should see it as well, and I'll grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you as always, take care, and I will see you next time.
They're absolutely just setting up Yako. Number 9 needs to hit a grab slam. He's going to come in. He only finds one, but he does clear out the showers. Does not know there's a player to his right. Trades back and forth. 3-on-2. Super. He's able to help out Nile. Not quite a way, a way to get with his life away. In sight. 2v1 now. It's just up to Nile, the former team, the divine player. Round 11. And this is a brilliant play for Fuego. He's going to have to stick it. You have to stick this. You cannot get off this bomb plant.
Oh my god. They're not going to push it. They're not going to push it in time. He's going to get it.
He's going to ninja defuse it for the round 11 win.
Any player who plays S&D knows you need to check the bomb in a certain amount of time, in a certain amount of like span of seconds.